Hey MVPs, Rico knows. Going to continue the series. I am pointing out one hidden gem on every single team in America. And for today, I'm going to point out the hidden gem on Duke. Now, I already made this video on TikTok. Please watch them on TikTok as well. But if you watch the playlist here on YouTube, you'll find it. Rico knows hidden gems for college football. And I'm going through each team. And when I got to Duke, yeah, there's a ton of players I want to talk about on Duke. But I felt like talking about Jordan Moore because, yes, he's the team's leading receiver yet again. But I don't think the world knows. Like, if you talk about the leading receivers in the ACC, Jordan Moore was 7th. He was 7th in the ACC among receiving yards, I believe, or receptions. But you see him here. You see him here with this. He's got this rib cage around him. And if you're not a football guy and you don't know, quarterbacks tend to wear the rib protection. They wear the rib cages. And that's because Jordan Moore was a dual threat quarterback coming out of high school. He was a very accomplished high school quarterback. He got to Duke. They tried to play him at quarterback. And he came across as this athlete with an immense amount of ability, but he wasn't quite there at quarterback. And they had Riley Leonard, who just transferred to Notre Dame. So eventually, he doesn't win the quarterback battle, and they move him to wide receiver, and this was the year before last, so 2 years ago. And he has a great season. If you want to go look, let me see here if I can pull this up. So Jordan Moore here, but let's go look at his career. What you'll notice here, you see these 221 yards rushing? He has 221 yards rushing back in 2021. That's because he was a quarterback. Okay, he was a dual threat quarterback being used to run the ball. Then they move him to wide receiver, and his first season at wide receiver, he goes for 656 yards, 60 receptions. It's phenomenal. And then last year, he did even better. 62 receptions, 835 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He did everything better, and what's significant about that is Duke had injuries at quarterback. Riley Leonard went down with injuries. They had to bring in 2 different backups, right? And you had, who was the king, the kid, the fourth? And then you had Grayson Loftus. I want to make sure I get the names right. Bear with me here. Henry Bellin or something like that. Yeah, Henry Bellin the fourth. Look at that. I'm crazy. And Grayson Loftus. These two, they turned out to be okay. But could you imagine in a quarterback room that is struggling with 50% completion percentages and not really dominating the way we envisioned? They had a terrible year due to injuries. So you got the majority of your quarterback play is these two guys, and you still play out of your mind. I think Jordan Moore is a sneaky good wide receiver, like really good, and I don't think the world knows. They all, like, if you watch games, Jalen Calhoun's their speed demon, and everybody's like, yeah, Jalen Calhoun, and Jordan Waters hit the transfer portal. He went to NC State. And they're talking about all these other guys. Calhoun went to the NFL, but Jordan Moore's right here. And he's the #1 production guy on this team. And he has been for 2 years now. And it's his first time playing, really getting reps at wide receiver, because he was a quarterback. So this could be one of those guys, one of those Hines Ward type dudes, and it's just special, man. I like it, and I don't think the world knows, so I wanted to draw light to it, and I wanted to point it out. And now the big deal here is Malik Murphy just came in the transfer portal. That's the kid who was backing up at Texas, right? Beat out Arch Manning for the second string job at quarterback. Just transferred in, and he's battling Grayson Loftus. Now, they haven't announced the starter, but I'd imagine Malik Murphy has a higher ceiling. I like Grayson Loftus as well. But that's telling you get a better quarterback who might be healthy the whole year, and you've got another year under your belt. Jordan Moore is him, number 8. Pay attention. I'm telling you, he's a top 10 wide receiver in the ACC, and people don't know about him. He's not a household name. I think he had more stats than Keon Coleman, and everybody knows Keon Coleman, but they don't know Jordan Moore, which is just a travesty. And then you have Javon Harvey jumping in. He went in the portal. Where did he leave? ODU? And he went down to A&M for a semester or whatever, and then he flipped over to Duke. I'm cool. I'm cool with Harvey showing up, helping alleviate some of the coverage and giving some more opportunities to catch the pass. But, bro, we're talking about a guy that gets 60 receptions a season, and none of you know who he is, and he should be a household name. And that's why I'm making this video. I'm going to do this for every single team in America. I'm going to point out one player you should know, and for the Duke Blue Devils, it is Jordan Moore. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.